Really? Yeah.
You are live.
Cool.
Hello,
Great.
everybody.
We are alive. Whoa.
Welcome, everyone.
Hmm.
Nice to be here with you.
Yeah.
Just everyone, welcome. Just waiting for people to arrive. I see 18 people are here. Just as you arrive, just find your way to the chat and share where you are in the world and 2 words about how you're feeling. Just like, are you excited to be here? Is there anything you want to learn today? Would love to hear from you in the chat.
Hi, Ruben.
Just be waiting for people to arrive.
I guess it's Ruben Gorsman. It can't be anybody else.
Hey, Ruben.
Thanks for your message on the Facebook event. Yeah, I feel. Oh, yeah, I like that. I like to be.
Why? What do you love about this, Ruben? While we wait, I would love to hear more about what you're talking about. About creativity, is that one of you guys? No. Evan, hi, Evan. Hey, Thomas.
Hey, Evan.
From Denmark. Good to see you.
Hey. And I've been in Oslo, relaxed after a long ski trip. Whoa.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's still winter here in Oslo, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cold, freezing here in Denmark as well. It's not much snow left, but it's windy and freezing, so it's like
so slippery here in Oslo.
Chill factor is incredible.
Real cold wave in Europe.
Yeah.
So
springtime coming next weekend, I guess.
I look forward to that.
Yeah.
Waiting a couple more minutes. Hi, Chris from Lancaster.
Yeah.
Can it apply to me, his magician archetype cold here in the UK as well?
Yeah, let's create some magic.
Yeah. Hi, David. Nice to see you.
Yeah.
You want to hear something good? Yeah, me too.
Ivana.
Hi.
Hello.
Nice to see you again, Anna. Ivana.
Yeah. Sunny and cold. Same here. Yeah.
Okay. We about ready to dive in?
Let's
you
do
guys
it.
excited to learn about the King archetype today? Type yes in the chat if you're excited to learn more about this.
Oh, Ruben.
Okay.
Long message.
Okay, let's see. Oh, you know Ruben Colorado?
It's Ruben Gorsman, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't know, Ruben.
Last week I've been a roller coaster and I have decided myself to my development through the SGI practice. Whoa!
Reboot, Phyllis.
Yeah. Okay. Let's dive in.
Yeah, let's dive in. Thank you, Ruben.
Yeah, so we're here to explore the King archetype today. For those of you, I know that Phil, at least we have one woman here. Maybe there are more women. You can just translate whatever we're talking about to the Queen. Most of the things that we talk about will apply. So, yeah, Carlotto, how are you feeling about talking about the King?
I feel excited. Yeah, I feel excited because I learned to trust him in me. And having that gift in me, like, really could tap into that center in me.
Yeah.
And hold myself. Even if I'm scared or wobbly, I have that center in me, like my inner throne is like, yeah, whatever happens, I'm home in myself. So yeah. I feel present and nervous, but that's life. That's life. So I'm happy to be here and explore this, and please ask all the questions you have in the chat.
So, several of you are talking about the magician. This is an archetype or a webinar on the King archetype, just to be clear. What about you, Richard? What is the King to you?
You know, that's one of the ones that was missing from my life, and I didn't see a whole lot of examples of that growing up. And it wasn't until I stepped into men's work in a larger way that I really saw what that looked like, so I could find it inside myself. And it was a struggle, but you know, it's landed, it's there, it feels good. It feels really good because in this moment I can feel my balls, I can feel my heart, I feel solid, and yeah, I'm excited and a little scared because I might fuck up. I might make mistakes here today and say something silly, or you know what? That's okay.
Yeah, we're humans.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I notice as well in this moment that I'm a bit like, what's it called, frazzled, that there are bits and pieces flying around, and whenever that's happening, I'm just like, I'm summoning the king in some way. You know, we're talking about the archetype of vision and blessing and order, and it's the order of really making all of the pieces come together as a cohesive whole inside of yourself. So if you're feeling fragmented in some way, and if you're feeling like your mind is spinning, and if you're being pulled in different directions and you don't quite know where to go and what you want, you don't have a clear vision for your life, and you don't feel like you have a really strong anchored belief in you that you're profoundly good as you are, so you haven't been blessed. Now, all of those things, they are what we're going to be talking about today. So let's just dive in there.
Yeah.
And I'm excited about what we're going to do in the end, everyone. And we're going to do a first for us, and I imagine a first in general, that we're going to be doing an archetypal invocation ritual on the webinar, where we will be summoning the king archetype for you all if you stay until the end.
Yeah, that's powerful.
I love that stuff.
Yeah, to be seen by your own inner king. It's like, oh. Yeah.
So everyone, let's get present. And like Colorado says, see if you can allow this inner king to start coming in and bring you into this moment. Put your mobile phone on silent like I just did. If you have a need for pen and paper, then just pick them out. There might be something in this hour that we're going to spend together that you may want to write down. Maybe you need a glass of water next to you. Just let's sink in together here and spend this 1 hour with the king archetype together. So let's move on in presence with our mobile phone on silence. Okay. Yeah. So we reclaim your inner throne, and we have been in the business of initiating men from all over the world for more than 3 years now. And well, I was the one who happened to create this training, and have, much to my amazement, found that many of the men who have come on this training throughout the years have had almost miraculous changes, at least very profound changes. And a lot of them talk about it as some sort of next wave in men's work. So this humbles me, and it also fills me with a sense of, like, I don't know, like we need to live up to something. So we are here with a lot of experience with working with men, and that's what we're bringing. I'm Ivan Kjellum. I'm the founder.
Yeah, I can continue. My name is Karl Otto Sandvik. I live in Denmark, and I've been working with men's work for 10 years. Been working with myself like for 20 years, or yeah. So and I joined the Reclaim Inner Throne on the beta launch in the fall of 2014, and as Ivan talked about, like the fragmentation in my life, kind of all the pieces of the puzzle in me came together, and I felt like I turned into one person. Even if I was fragmented beyond that or underneath that, I could feel like I was one person. So I really love the work Ivan created, and decided to support him, and I've been working as a men's coach on this Reclaim Inner Throne journey ever since. So welcome to you all. I would love to share this evening with you. So
thank you, Ko. And I'm Richard Alexander Arsic. I am living in Ontario, Cambridge, Ontario, Canada, and I've been involved with men's work for, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 years now. And like Keo said, working on myself for a lot of years before that, doing a lot of different things. And it was really the Reclaim journey that brought all my pieces together as well. And
yeah,
it's like that guy that liked it so much, he bought the company. I didn't buy the company, but I certainly joined up, and I'm helping to move this forward because I believe the world needs what this course offers. And I know I needed it.
Yeah, doing a great job, Richard.
And I know I needed to. Yeah. Great. Well, I'm proud of what we've done so far, and I'm excited about what we're about to do on this webinar. So let's continue.
We can help answer that question, Chris.
Yeah, it's a really great question. Stay tuned.
Yeah, just keep asking questions, and we might address them in at an appropriate time in the webinar. So what I'd like to ask you is, what would it mean to you to discover purpose and really take charge of your life, to start feeling who you really are? Is that something that you're interested in? Like I see a lot of men not quite knowing why they're here and why they get up in the morning, and there's a bit of an autopilot happening. What would it mean to you to really know why you live on this planet and what you're here to bring? Is that something that you'd like? I'd love to hear that in the chat.
You're allowed to type yes if that's...
Yes. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Yes, I want to find my purpose and take charge of my life. Let's hear it in the chat.
Yeah.
And
Cool.
So let's
Good, Nick.
look at the qualities
Phil
of the architect. Ah, nice.
That's a lot of yeses here.
That's a lot of yeses. I love it. I love it.
Beautiful.
Good stuff, everyone. Nice to see.
Oh, cool.
Inspiring.
Mm.
So let's just explore a little bit what the archetypal king is. It is that coming together of the different energies and the different patterns of thinking and acting that operate inside of you that so often seem opposed to each other. Like you have a decision to make and you see it from so many different angles, and it seems like whatever you do, it's not going to be quite right, you know. And these things where it feels like life is kind of a jumbled mess where I can't quite seem to get the dots to connect, that is where the archetypal king needs to come in. Because the archetypal king, understand that the archetypal king is more than a fantasy from like Tolkien or something like that. It's an actual imprint that lives in your genes. This is what archetypes are, according to Jung and everyone who's been doing the research after. Robert Moore and Douglas Gillette are the two men that we owe a lot of our knowledge to. So it's that harmony. But not only the harmony of knowing who you are and feeling the pieces fitting together, it's the order. It's the vision, like the vision of what matters. Where am I going? Why am I here in the first place?
Yeah,
and I see so many. Yeah, go on.
No, I just say it just gives reason. It gives meaning to move forward, to get out of bed in the morning.
Yeah. And if you don't have that true north installed in your life, then life is inevitably just a chaotic free fall into suffering. And we're trying to just grasp onto things, and normally they're addictions, and we're just like, because life doesn't seem to make sense when we don't have a real contact with the archetypal king. And the servant leadership that we have on the slide is really the king lives to serve. So if you are going to connect with the archetypal king and start feeling that the blessings or the pieces inside of you come together, start feeling that you're grounded in your being, in your doing in this world, knowing why you're here, knowing why you're doing what you're doing, you need to find that servant leadership, understanding that what you're doing and that your very being is dedicated to the betterment, not only of your life, but to the lives of the people you love, the nation, the country, the world, you know?
Yes.
Creating more kings.
In a way,
Yeah.
we actually, when I get in touch with my king, I feel a responsibility for all the things I'm not responsible for. In the way that I can see and feel like what's wrong, what's not coming together, and I feel like an urge to make the dots, to connect the dots, and
Awesome.
and make a peace in the world, and share my gift, and really use myself for a greater good.
You certainly are.
So
Yes.
it's not about me. It's about the bigger picture, in my view.
Yeah.
I've always said that the king is the one who wields the other archetypes, who dispatches them in service to the realm being myself and what I'm in service to. And that really helped me to understand how all my archetypes come to play.
Yeah.
Being led by the king, who was out in front.
Ruben asks, a large part of the king archetype is the unlocking of your potential. Certainly the king, that aspect of you is the true north. It is knowing why you're here. You know, a lot of people work with mission statements and visions. That is certainly within the domain of the king. Because if you're going to be acting in this world as a doer, you will burn out very quickly if you work hard without really understanding why. Like, why am I doing what I'm doing? I just seem to be running in this rat race like a hamster in a wheel, just doing shit for no particular reason whatsoever. And bit by bit, you lose your sense of dignity, you lose your sense of self, and you drain yourself of energy. And this is the point of the servant leadership. It's not just running around like a headless chicken, just giving. No, it's, you know why you're giving because you have installed the true north. And then somehow you become that bridge between whatever transcendent qualities live in your vision and what you're bringing into the world. So let's move on. We have several slides to connect today. You already covered this one to some extent, Richard, connecting the dots, the royal cult.
Yeah, but
so
I would like to hear you talk about it, Ivan, like the way we use it in the training.
Say more.
Like we bring the magician online first, and then mapping out our story, and bringing the lover and the warrior in, and connecting the warrior lover, and then the king comes online.
Awesome. Thank you for reminding me of this. It feels like, I don't know, somehow this feels like a unique insight. I don't see anyone else talk about it out there, and somehow I feel that it's such a crucial sort of master key to understanding the process of growth and reclaiming the inner throne, essentially. So what we do is that on this Reclaim Your Inner Throne journey, we access initially the magician, because this is where we establish a ritual space, and we sort of drop in together. Like, we did it just a little bit on this call when we said, everyone get present, turn off your mobile phones. In that moment, you realized, okay, so this is a bit more serious now. I'm not going to just get scattered. No, I'm here for a reason. So in that moment, probably, if you understand what I'm talking about, type it in the chat. Like, yes, I understand that there's a way that I actually step into another way of being. And that is the magician. And when I step into that another way of being in an even more powerful way, which we will be doing at the end of the call, then the unconscious material that you normally don't see. It starts opening up, right? So the unconscious material being that which you're not able to recognize in yourself, your shadow, if you know what that is, whatever patterns run in you as you live your life that you're not aware of, all of a sudden these things start bubbling up. And inevitably, all of these patterns are somehow about a struggle between the polarities of the warrior and the lover, is what I found.
Yeah.
Okay, so you may have been here to watch all of these webinars, and if you haven't watched all of these webinars, maybe this is going to be a bit harder for you to follow, so then please go back and watch the other webinars. But when you lift that lid to the cauldron of the unconscious, you get to see all of these colliding intentions that are actually operating inside of you. And in terms of the warrior and lover, they're the intention of autonomy and freedom. Warrior wants to dedicate himself with discipline and responsibility and loyalty to the purpose of the king, essentially. And so it's go, 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 challenge, 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 responsibility, discipline, loyalty. Whereas the lover is not autonomy. It's coming together in a we. Like, just imagine being with the person that you love. I know that when I'm with the woman I love, there's a part of me that just wants to melt into her and become one. But then there is the other part of me that immediately then gets afraid of losing myself, which is the warrior part, which is this desire for autonomy. So what do I choose? What do I choose in that moment? Do I choose to hold on to myself as an autonomous being, or do I choose to lose myself into full merger with the woman I love? You know, that seems to be the binary choice that we have with so many things in our lives. But what we find as we bring these two qualities into the ritual circle of the magician is that we can start having them meet and realize that you can actually do both at the same time. Which seems to be an absolute impossible paradox. Like, how can I be autonomous and merged at the same time? And frankly, I can't really put words to this in a great way. But this is the fundamental battle that plays inside of us. It manifests in masculine, feminine. It manifests in Democrat and Republican, left or right. It manifests in I or we. It manifests in autonomy or merging. It manifests in all of these things. And you can see in the world right now that actually everything that's happening in our world is about these polarities desperately having a last stand for their own side of the coin without acknowledging the other side of the coin. Mind is blown, Ruben says. Do you understand these things? Does it make sense? Please share. This could be a bit like meta. I don't know, you know, sometimes I just sit in my tower and look down at humanity and try to analyze the patterns, you know? So
that's why we love them.
What I was thinking, Eivind, thanks for sharing. That's profound wisdom. So what I was thinking about, when the lover and the warrior comes together, it's more like surrender leadership. It's like leading from your heart. So you are both leading your own heart from your own heart and with your heart. So you're both present and doing, like the warrior is the doing and the lover is the being. So they merge together. They meet in the heart, in my view.
And bringing them together consciously.
Yes.
Is the key.
I believe.
Balance.
I believe the inner throne is in the heart. If it's going to be one thing, it's certainly in the heart.
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to go through a couple of keys that we find when it comes to these, this archetype. We already talked a little bit about this, didn't we, Richard? Yeah.
Well, you know, when your vision is set and your sails are full, life becomes a joy. And it can be fraught with challenges along the way. And sometimes those challenges are very daunting. But this keeps that, having the vision keeps things moving. It keeps everything going towards a direction, that higher purpose, that calling that I feel in my midsection, that this pull that brings me forward, that I find hard to describe sometimes. And it's beautiful, and it's the King in action.
Beautiful, man. I think this is where so many people end up struggling with knowing whether to say yes or no to things, because they literally don't know why they exist. So how can I know what to say yes or no to if I have no friggin' clue why I'm even here in the first place? And that's where this digging for purpose, for vision, is really important. And there may be people in the non-dual traditions and that kind of thing that says that's not important, it's just all illusion anyway. But I don't believe in that stuff. I believe that it's of crucial importance to have some sense of knowing why I'm here. Because if you ask me to do something, Kaloro, if you say, can you do this for me? And I don't know what I'm a stand for, and what you're asking me is a bit challenging, then I'm like, but when I know my true north, then immediately it's like, that doesn't fit with my vision.
You get to hold it up to your vision and say, does this fit? And I find, especially in my life in the past, I would say yes to a lot of things and get so overwhelmed by trying to keep people happy, I lost where I was going. It's a nasty little cycle.
So I would love to hear in the chat now, if you feel that you have a vision, share no humbly. If you don't feel that, it's okay. We've all been there. And then if you feel like you have a vision, I'd love to hear what it is. Phil, does true north change over time? Yes, I believe it does. Though I do also think that when it comes to my life, there is a red thread, or like a theme that runs through the whole thing, but the expression of it will change.
So I was thinking about when you don't have that vision or you can't figure it out, maybe it's because you lack the King's blessing from your father or a mature man in your younger life. So if you don't get that blessing, you're kind of lost, or men are kind of lost in the world if you don't get it, because they are searching for it outside of themselves all the time, and it turns to workout and addictions and shit. So it's essentially important to give your sons that blessing, to love them from who they are and what you're doing, and see them. Jesus, do it.
Yes, let them start to trust themselves.
Yeah,
so important.
I just felt that right in my belly when I said that.
There is such an abundance of research material on the importance of dad's presence, loving presence, for how both men and women come out as human beings. I was drawn to Chris's comment in the chat. I've had a vision for 30 years, but it's run out totally. I wonder if what's happened really is that you've been pushing for your vision from a bit of a willful, stubborn, maybe even egoic place, and that it's, for some reason you lost track of the transcendent purpose. And it's okay if you don't share that. That would be vulnerable for me to share. But what I find is that if I'm not attuned to that sacred purpose or the sacred source of my vision, then I run out.
There's no faith in it.
Yeah,
it's just fear.
So let's do key 2. Oh, sorry. Yeah,
keep on. Move on.
Okay. You can't bless and lead others unless you first embrace and lead yourself. So this is Jordan Peterson, which is a guy that has risen to fame because of his interest in archetypes. He has this quote that has become very popular with many men in the world: clean your room first, Like just clean up your room. And
Kitchen.
in essence, we're talking about that, but we're talking about something more as well. You can't really expect to be a leader that will be trusted, and everyone's a leader. You can't expect to be a leader who is trusted if you don't know how to lead your own life. Because then you're actually you're somehow using others to find your sense of self or your dignity.
Mm.
And I'm not saying that's not like that. Of course, leading others could be part of our growth process. It certainly has been for me. But to use that as a bypass for feeling horrible or unworthy, you just can't do that. And you can also not like run around sort of spreading the good message, you know, the glad tidings, without actually having had a sense of coming home in yourself through being blessed or embracing yourself. And what we're seeing so much of in the world right now is that people are trying to fix the world from a place of being profoundly fragmented and tormented themselves. And it just doesn't work, because the inner kingdom and the outer kingdom are reflections of each other. And you will just project your own inner trauma and suffering onto the world, and you will try to heal in the world what you need to fix in yourself or heal in yourself. So this is a bullshit approach that so many people take when they turn to activism and that kind of thing. So you need to do your own work first.
Yep.
Okay, let's do the third key. So is this good, people? Are you enjoying this? Tell me if it's making sense and if you're getting something out of it in the chat.
There's a lot of questions and so much things happening in the chat. It's so exciting.
There's a lot happening in the chat, people.
Yeah,
I like seeing it. Thank you.
I can't answer everything. It just woo.
Ruben is on fire.
Yeah,
Ruben, you're just running the whole show here. Thank you for your contribution.
Beautiful.
Okay, key number 3.
Great stuff.
You will.
Yes, wonderful. This is great stuff.
Boombo. This is great. Awesome. I'm glad to see this, guys. And Phil. You will not feel worthy until you live to serve, not to take. Just let that sink in. You will not feel worthy until you live to serve, not to take. I'm going to say it one more time because I like this one. It brings a silent place inside of me. You will not feel worthy until you live to serve, not to take. And there we lost Richard.
Whoa. Strange. He'll be back. He'll be back.
He'll be back.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so beautiful and so essence to the purpose of serving, of being of service.
Yeah.
And when I can like put myself on hold and it's not about me, I feel like I can contribute. I can be a part of my community and my family instead of being greedy. I want being into materialistic stuff. Like I never have enough. But when I can just, serve, be a good man.
There is a trap hidden within this key that I want to highlight. Because if you misunderstand what we're saying here, you might turn into a yes man, a doormat, someone who doesn't set boundaries. But I want to refer back to what we covered already. You need to have your vision and your true north installed for this key to even make sense in the first place. Because you're running around trying to suck up at other people by doing them favors, hoping that that's somehow going to heal your inner struggle. then you're walking down a cul-de-sac. You know, that's a dead end. It doesn't go anywhere.
And that's
Okay.
the rat race, the hamster wheel.
And there's a lot of feelings of that were entitlement is the word I'm looking for out there. Everybody deserves this, that, or the other thing. And it's through service that it's actually comes about.
Yeah. It's not codependency, it's something else. Just to be clear on that one.
I think that in some way that is what differentiates immaturity from maturity, Richard, is that when I'm immature, I feel that the world owes me things. But when I'm mature, I realize that the world doesn't owe me shit. That doesn't mean that I don't have desires and that it's important to open to receiving, but to go around to feel like people owe me stuff just for being me.
Well, at least you're allowed to blame others
for not having,
for not giving me what I need. Yeah,
not being good enough for you.
And then I get to be a victim.
Yep.
And and we all do it. I do this. I've been doing it lately, and so just catching myself, getting back on track. And really, one of the keys for me is to not go into the mind too much about it, but try and bring whatever I'm feeling into the body again and again.
Yes, Steiner.
Yeah, no question, Steiner.
That's the tricky one, Steiner. It is
being and doing, man, right there.
That I think is a reflection of the polarity that we talked about earlier, where somehow now the polarity that we can't seem to reconcile is giving and receiving. And somehow I should only be giving. But actually that's not sustainable, and it doesn't follow the laws of nature. There is no process in nature that isn't giving and receiving. So there.
Okay.
Okay. So we're going to start talking about Reclaim Your Inner Throne, because we would love to have a few of you with us on this journey. Because ideas and talk is one thing, but to actually open up these doors in your life and to step through them into a new life for yourself and for the people that you serve, that is what we have dedicated our lives to. And so we're going to share a little bit more about this journey before we do the ritual at the end. So this is the map, the mythological map that we take the men through on Reclaim Your Inner Throne. And we go through this world of the underworld, and we meet with the map maker of the East, and the Dryads in the Mystic Glade, and the Black Knight in the Valley of the Black Knight, and we visit the Temple of Unification, and there are all these mythical places on the way to the land of the Risen King, which is our vision it's like an inner representation of our vision of a world where people thrive, and it's what we're going to be taking you into now. Okay. So now we're going to have a taste of Reclaim Your Inner Throne right here on the webinar. I encourage you to close your eyes in this moment.
Yeah, no typing for now.
Find that presence that we've been talking about. And we're going to take you through these couple of minutes of just dropping in to your inner throne room. where you're going to have an audience with your inner king. We do these kinds of invocations a lot on Reclaim Your Inner Throne, and we have found that they have profound effects on the men who receive them. So in this moment, just tune in with your breath. Notice any resistance you may have to what is occurring right now. Or if you feel excited and super ready to just dive in. Feeling your breath. Okay. Taking you in. Now feel the weight of your body. Allow gravity to do its job and pull you into the chair or whatever surface you're in contact with. Because that point of connection, wherever you find it, in fact, find one point of connection right now between your body and the surface. And just get really present to that point. For me, it's the right toe. Every point in your being, in your body and your consciousness is constantly engaging in conversation with its surroundings. You're always part of a dialogue with reality. And is becoming present to the dialogue and to learn how to speak. That somehow brings us into connection with the world and the sense of coming home. And right now, we're going to take a step closer to home. You find yourself in front of huge, heavy oaken doors. You have been invited to an audience with the inner king. And he lives on the other side of this door. But we're not going to open it quite yet. Because you don't just rush into the throne room. First, you find the right intention. And just sit in presence with your body and the dialogue and your intention as I invoke the magician ritual circle for us all. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. The doors swing open and you enter. A long red carpet is rolled out in front of you. Heavy stone pillars hold up the roof on either side of the aisle. Chandeliers with dozens of lit candles hang heavily from the ceiling. And at the center of the room sits the inner king, or the inner queen if you're a woman. And as you walk down the red carpet to this inner king, to kneel down and have an audience with him, realizing in this moment that it's not a fantasy, that this is actually a real, deep psychological truth, I will invoke the song yet again. So you keep walking down the aisle towards the king, towards the center of yourself. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. You walk down the aisle and you're near the throne. Hey, 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 hey. Kneel in front of the king now. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, hey, hey. You find yourself before the inner king. Looking down to the floor, you feel his presence, benevolent, loving, and powerful. Look up now and meet his eyes and find your vision. Only you know what he looks like. Maybe he's old, maybe he's not. Maybe he has a big long beard, or maybe he doesn't have a hair on his head. Only you know. I've missed you, he says. It's time to come home. You're lost. And yet, I see your potential. I see your goodness. I see your power. This world needs you. You are welcome here. And I know you have shame, and that sometimes you feel broken. And you still belong here, in this world, where your gifts are needed. Keep looking at the inner king. Feel your body, knowing that it is also welcome in this world. And if there is a part of your body in this moment that doesn't feel welcome in this world, welcome it to this world. Bow now to the King in humility and receive his blessings, knowing that you're bowing to a part that lives in you, or at least that flows through you, and that this is not fantasy. This is real. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. Feel his hand on your head. You are welcome here. Your gifts are needed. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, good with a trickster present in the middle of the show. Let that blessing from your head all the way down through your body, let it fill you. You are welcome. You are so welcome. Your power, your gifts, your shadows, everything. And you are needed right now, dear man, dear woman. Your inner king, your inner queen beckons. It is time.
Oh.
Just 3 breaths and let the throne room fade away. See if you can stay with the feeling. And so is the work of reclaiming your inner throne. Day by day, week by week. We sit with the inner king and we enter the dialogue again and again. Good. Shake it loose a little bit if you need.
Shake it, baby. Great.
Show me how to serve.
Show me how to serve. Oh, I forgot that part.
No, that's just that those words just keep going through when I'm sitting kneeling before the king.
Yeah.
Yeah, that takes you out of your self-centered.
Did you feel anything? Oh, sorry, I'm getting excited. This is the thing that some people have been commenting on. When I get excited, I just roll.
Yeah, please share in the chat how this was for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess being in 3 different countries, I can't kick them under the table. Quiet, settle down. God, I love
Always
this
amazing,
work.
Tim. Maybe there's a quiet place in the group from this.
Yeah, I like the quiet.
Yeah, good. We have some more slides.
Thank you, Tim. Thanks, Andrea, Ruben.
Wonderful.
Nice. Beautiful. Yeah. Yeah.
Makes
Feel
me
it, Andre.
Makes me feel on purpose when it's happening deeply. Let's move on.
My thriving world of awakened men unfolds as I heal myself and share that journey with the world.
It's a nice purpose.
Yes, it is. And I started with myself.
We're going to go a few minutes over now, but we're going to dive in now because this is where we're going to be sharing a little bit more about the journey itself, where what you've just experienced is just one short taste of what becomes an ongoing experience for you for 3 full months if you choose to join us. So, courage to face life. What is this slide? Well, it is about what happens to a lot of the men who are on this journey with us. Men who go on the journey with us face their demons and learn to show up in life even when it's scary. So we don't promise a lucky, some sort of make everything perfect pill. What is happening for most of the men who join us is that the way that they can face life after the journey is completely different. Imagine feeling solid when the storms of life come crashing against you. And then you might, let's do Robert's story. So Robert is an amazing guy. He is the father of 3 young boys, and he lives in the UK and London, runs his own company, just a stunning man. And he's shared this little story with us from just after he left the training, where he said, I leave the training feeling extremely happy and with more energy and enthusiasm than I have ever known. My life is more peaceful, my relationships with women are thriving, and my business is booming.
And during the course, his house burned down, his son went to jail, there was broken bones going on. Like, this was huge.
Well,
yeah.
Let's not share too much.
Yeah. But he held that time and he was working on him, and he held his family at the same time. So so
very impressed.
And his heart like unfolded during the journey. It's like so beautiful.
Yeah. And I know that, that his life has changed since then. And the thing that he says again and again is like, the way I stand in the challenges right now is so, so different. Okay. Life-changing breakthroughs into a life of meaning and purpose. That's another thing that the men who come to us typically get. So many men leave Reclaim Your Inner Throne with strong conviction about their value and great inspiration to give their gifts. There are several of these men on this call right now. So if some of you actually would like to share about that in the chat, that would be really cool. Yeah. Ruben says, I decided to partake on the journey, saw this event, and here we are. That is very exciting.
Beautiful, Ruben.
Welcome, Ruben, if I'm understanding you right. So here's an example of what this might mean for our friend David, who I believe is on the call. I was single, longing for a woman, working a job I hated, and living in a small, damp room in the city. After Reclaim Your Inner Throne, I run my own business, take care of children, and live in a beautiful place in the countryside with a woman I love. David, another amazing guy who's been so helpful in putting together the structures for how to get this work further into the world. Ethical organizer, that's David. Hi. So what an honor.
He also runs the alumni calls, like bi-weekly support group calls for group coaching calls for alumni from the training.
Yes.
So great work.
Okay, moving on to another thing that we often have men experience. Well, this one I could say it's always this consistent. Discover the beauty and power of a brotherhood. Like so many men don't really have proper relationships with men. It's some sort of weird cultural anomaly that's been developing over the last decades where men seem to have just lost touch with each other. And now a lot of men prefer hanging out with women, or when they're with men, they just speak shit all the time. And well, I'm not going to judge like pub table talk conversations and that kind of thing. There's a time and place for that. But I know from experience the desperate yearning so many men have for connections with men that are clinically stripped of bullshit and escapism.
Yeah.
Can you say yes to this in the chat? If it's true for you. If you want relationships with men clinically stripped of bullshit and escapism. What were you going to say, Richard?
Just that it becomes, it's the father wound being acted out between men, is what it feels like to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's the constant. No one's ever good enough. We're always challenging each other. There's always poking each other. There's always taking a stab at each other, and it's just really to feel good about ourselves.
Mm.
And I see that, you know, in on the shop floor, the place I work. It's amazing what men do to each other, and I call them on it. Is this really working for you? Is that what do you want to be treated the same way you're treating others?
Wow. Great work, Richard.
Yeah.
That impresses me.
That's courage.
Yeah.
To bring it into life that way.
Yeah. I have to. If I don't, then I'm just a fraud.
Right.
Sorry, that gets me. I feel there's something boiling there when the moment you said that. Not that I was angry, just that, yes, this is what this is all about. This is about bringing this work to the world.
Yeah.
Not just doing it in some little sacred brotherhood somewhere. It's bringing it out there and being that. That's how this world is going to change.
Yes.
So I also learned to trust myself during the journey and during my own work. So the more I trust myself, the less scared I am of other men. Because I also have that old conditioning of men they're going to take me down, or they are just too big. I'm a small guy. So trusting myself from my guts and my heart, I feel peace with other men. And I can see that in them. When I can see that in me, I can see that in them. And I can really invite them to take a deeper look at that. So,
yeah.
When a man can come to me with a heart open because he trusts me, not with shields up, waiting for the next barb to come out. That's what this is all about. That's when we all open and we thrive.
Yeah.
World where people thrive. Yeah. It strikes me in this moment that we as men, we have such a built-in need to somehow penetrate, like to just carve through. And I think a lot of this sort of pecking order, like aggression, comes from that energy, and basically, in my perception, that comes because I'm not in tune with my vision. And the moment I am in tune with my vision, the same energy that would otherwise be used to put other men down is actually used to lift them up through challenge.
Yeah.
Because I'm now bringing discernment. It's the source of the energy is the same, but it's now been purified. You know, I see you, brother. You have so much in you. I want to see you give it to the world. Instead of like, oh, you know, you're a piece of shit. You know, it's the same thing, but it's just alchemized. Okay.
Thanks for clearing that distinction up.
Turn me into a man. Wow. Pretty big words.
It is.
That was a young guy from very early on.
Yeah, he was 22, I guess.
Yeah. We lost. Yeah, we didn't get the images in, unfortunately, but But yeah, that was way back in the days, and
So what
that
I
was
can
good.
see here is he's been seen by other men and other people
Yeah.
that he had changed. He didn't actually see it himself, so he get recognized by other people.
Hmm.
And they trust him, and then whoa, I've changed. Yeah, you have.
Sometimes I'm the last one to see that.
Hmm.
What do you mean in yourself, or?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm. Well, you
And
wasn't
that also,
yesterday.
that's
You're
also
really
through
focused.
humbleness,
Yeah.
sprinkled with some unworthiness.
Yeah.
It's a good question, that one. Can we initiate men online?
Mm.
Reclaiming
You
Your
betcha.
Throne is entirely online, which is one of these things that men typically find like, oh, I just want to be physical and be with men in a room, and you know, I have that longing and desire too. I completely get it.
Hmm.
And here's the deal, which I think is sort of a missing piece for a lot of people when they disqualify a training like this because it's not physical. It's that actually when you have a training in the flesh somewhere, you go there, you go into ritual space, and then you leave again. And typically that energy of the training dissipates fairly quickly. But what we do with Reclaiming Your Throne is that we integrate the ritual space into your overall life experience. And so it filters into everything over 3 months. And you get to go on ups and downs, and you get to rise and to fall and to shine and to rage. And it weaves itself magically into your life because we're doing it online over 3 months. And we use Zoom, and we use WhatsApp groups, we use triads, we use a forum. We have these amazing, beautiful course pages with PDFs and expert interviews and lots of writing that we weave into this cohesive mythological narrative. And what we find is that it works incredibly well, way better than you would ever expect it would.
It sure does. I was very skeptical, and I now do most of my work online because of this. It's accessible to more people. It's accessible to people all over the world, and it really is your life that you're doing. You're doing your life as you're doing this course over 13 weeks. It's like Ivan said, it's not going in for a weekend and then having a great experience and going, yeah, this is great. And then it slowly starts to wear off over the next week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and that's kind of back to normal. Yeah. This is really integrating deeply into your life and into the daily challenges that show up on the average person.
Yeah. Awesome. So let's get down to business. What do we charge? That is the question. If you're feeling excited in this moment, obviously you wonder what we charge. And normally our course is an investment. Normally we charge $2,479. It's a full-time, more or less, commitment for us, or for 3 months. It's deep. It's 90 days of almost 24/7 coaching. So it's an investment. In the past, this is what men have been paying, and I haven't heard a single man regret paying that price. During this webinar campaign, we have been charging $1,979. We've been offering a $500 discount. And today, we want to give you a 30% discount, which we never do. So it's really a one-time offer, which will take it all the way down to $1,735. This discount is valid only for the first 3 men, and you will have to book within an hour. And we will also throw a coaching call with Richard or Colado into the mix. Should you not be ready to book within the hour, or maybe we have a rush of bookings and you're number 4, fear not, you're going to have a $500 discount. But right now, I'm in, says Vincenzo. Awesome.
Nice.
Welcome. Ruben, welcome. So that's the deal. Is this offer clear, guys? 30% discount, total 1,735. Only the first 3 men, and only for this upcoming hour. You will get 1 coaching call included if you're one of these first 3 men. And so now I'm going to let you know how you do that.
So there's a payment plan, right?
Yeah, Ruben
Yes,
has a
we
good
have
question there.
we have payment plans for 3 months or 6 months, and right now I'm going to put the offer in here. Let's see.
I like the discount code.
Yeah.
Okay, I just launched the offer in the sidebar here, so you can now go directly to the enroll page, and within the hour, which means that it's going to be open until 9:10 local time here. So that's basically 60 minutes from now. And if you would need to have a little bit more information, then the information is available on that page.
So click on the speaker on the right side.
Yeah.
There's a menu,
So,
number 4 from the top.
So we're going to cover a little bit more about exactly how it happens. We have teaching calls on Mondays at 8 o'clock Central European time, which is the time zone that we use for this, for 7 p.m. So 1 hour after this webinar. And then alternating Thursdays and Sundays, we do coaching calls. And then each week you get a new course page that takes you through this journey on the map. Yeah. And all of this information you can find on the page. And then we just have a couple of questions for you to end, just to inspire you a little bit extra. So if all Reclaim Unithron did for you was to make you trust yourself, would it be worth it?
Please write in the chat if you resonate with this.
Maybe you can do these, Richard and Colorado.
If all Reclaim Unithron did was give you more success in your business, would it be worth it?
If all Reclaim Your Inner Throne did was give you a better relationship to woman, would it be worth it?
If that sounds like it would be worth it, type yes in the chat. So guys, I have an impassioned plea to end that I believe that men's work is waking up as a more legit and more mainstream pursuit for the men of the world. And it's not really going as fast as I would like it to.
I hear you, brother.
Basically, what I see as the main challenge in the world right now, and that I may be biased in this, but it's men either not knowing what they need to do to give their gift to the world, or men knowing what they need to do but not doing it.
That's a shame.
Yeah, staying comfortable.
Yeah. So men going nowhere usually gets there.
And it's not the kind of life that I like to live. And I question if any man truly enjoys living a life where they're just floundering like a leaf on the wind, not having any clue why they're here or what they serve, and being afraid to stand up for what they believe in, being a pushover to their woman, not having a spine in business conversations, not really knowing where to go. If this is you, do you really like, honestly, do you really have a choice here? I mean, it could be you could get this any number of places. I know that we do this in ways that actually work, and you're so welcome to join us on this journey, guys.
I mean, there's a question from Vincenzo.
Vincenzo, yeah. I'm just checking in to see if you put the word Thrive in for the coupon code.
You need to put the Thrive in as the coupon code, that's for sure. So we'll just hang around and wait for you to place any orders. I see that we have 2 men who want to join as a basis of this. So again, welcome Vincenzo and Ruben. Would love to take a 3rd man. This price is not one we offer often or ever. So just let's see. Thomas says yes to all. Because that trust became a basis for acting and doing as well, slowly expanding and channeling both my own as well as affecting those around me. Right, reclaiming a throne was such a magnificent starting point for me. That's beautiful, Thomas. Beautiful. Yeah. Okay. Shall we wrap it up there, guys, and let these men place their orders?
Yeah.
Hope to see you men on the course.
So there is another slide about the next call. Yeah.
Yes. For those of you who are not quite ready, maybe you feel inspired, but you're still a bit afraid or not sure if it's compatible with your life, then we will send out a link to a Q&A call that we're going to I just got a bit distracted by Vincenzo saying that the page doesn't work. We're going to send that out on the newsletter.
Yeah. Cool. You need to
so let me
just
Vincenzo, I'm just going to check this for you and see if it's truly not working. It seems to be working just fine. inner-throne.com/enroll. And then you type Thrive with capitals into the discount code.
Reloaded. Nothing.
Okay. Vincenzo, good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then you can join later.
Yeah.
Christopher.
I just did it and it works.
Yeah, it works fine.
Yep.
Okay, call me, he says.
Okay. Actually, what we'll do is this. We'll just set up a Zoom call right now to handle any of these bookings, and then we'll do the Q&A call next Sunday. So right now I'm going to set up a Zoom call, and then those of us who are struggling with booking, you can come there, and then we're going to just wrap up the webinar. So that's what we'll do. Thanks for your patience with this, guys. Love that you're joining us, Vincenzo and Ruben. Welcome. I'm excited to get to know you guys.
Yes.
Let's see here.
And if there are any women here, there is, I guess. So just if you know some guys who you know might need this kind of work, please direct them our way so we can do our work.
Vincenzo, here's the Zoom link. So, Vincenzo, Ruben, and anyone else that is interested, just copy that link and wait 15 seconds after we wrap up the webinar, and then we'll meet there. And if not, send us an email on Innerthrone.com, like this. Thank you so much for coming, everyone, and for staying to the end. I appreciate that you came. Appreciate your interest. This webinar series has been a real experience, a learning journey for us all.
It's been great.
And thank you, Ivan, for the blessing. I really love that journey to the throne room. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And thank you all for being here and supporting and asking questions. And I feel so alive, so on purpose. This is my life. And I really, 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 really just gonna do this for the rest of my life. It makes so much sense to me.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Folks. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah. Bye.
I'm ending the webinar, and we'll see you on Zoom if you want to order. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Be well.